Hi, I'm Story with Homestead with a... Okay, so now I have my bat of fiber and I went ahead and broke it in half, and then the frayed ends I put together. So what I'm going to do is start spinning my single. I have a leader thread. This is my Ashford Traveler, and this is the one that I take most of the time to the farmer's market because it's super compact. I just put it in my front seat and seat belt it in and take it along with me. This setup is super easy. It's just a single treadle. I do have my Ashford Kiwi over here, and that's a double pedal, so it gets a little bit faster momentum. And then for my plying, I use my Ashford Traditional, which I have a jumbo flyer on, so I can fit, I want to say it's like 8 ounces of fiber on it, which is pretty awesome. So anyways, to start, I just make sure that my bobbin's hooked up, my brake band is on and tight, everything's functioning properly. I hook in the first hook. You'll see as I fill my bobbin, I want to continue moving from hook to hook, and that just keeps the bobbin filling evenly. So this is about half of that first bat that I did. Okay, so this is my Ashford Traditional with my jumbo flyer. I have my brake band all set up. It does have 2 springs, which is called a Scotch tension, on the brake band. And then I have my Lazy Kate, which is actually tension. So you'll see there's a strand here that connects to a knob as well. And so I can tighten it and loosen it as necessary as I'm plying. So I've put the 2 strands together. I've tied a knot to the end of my leader. And now I'm going to spin counterclockwise because the 2 singles are spun clockwise. So I just start my wheel. You'll notice that it'll start to pull in. There's a bit of an ugly start right here just because of the loose fiber from the last ply I did, as well as the end of these 2 that I tied. But luckily my jumbo flyer is big enough that it's gonna feed through there at some point in time. And then I just kind of, whoops. So I just need to give it a little bit more tension. So it pulls onto the bobbin a little bit better. So I had quite a bit of twist in that, so I'm going to go ahead and give it some more lead, which it'll apply twist to from the 2 singles, and then hopefully it'll feed on soon. I got it stuck. I got it stuck. Okay, there we go. There we go. And then just same process, as you fill the bobbin, moving your thread over the hooks. And then I just like to hold it, so if I feel like it's a little too thick, sometimes I can hold it there and add a little more twist. Or if it feels a little thin, I can loosen the twist as well, just by guiding it the entire time. It is a little more time consuming this way, but I notice if I just let the Lazy Kate do it, sometimes the Lazy Kate malfunctions and then I end up with these really weird loose spots and then tight spots. So I just like to continue to feed it at a pretty consistent pace. You can treadle a little faster now because you're not going to lose the fiber. You don't have a cloud, you have 2 strands. You just want to keep an eye out if you hit a loose spot or a soft spot that breaks. Make sure you tie your strand back on. Otherwise you're just going to end up with a backwards twisted single, and that's not going to work because it'll fall apart. Because you need these 2 to hold each other together. So as you can see, there's some inconsistent spots. That's mostly from that first one I spun. I did struggle with that first bat compared to the second one. The second one was really smooth. It was nicely carded. I probably could have done a second round of carding for that first bat, but it is what it is. Life happens, right? So again, just moving across to your next hook as your bobbin fills. You don't want to have fat spots in your bobbin. It'll just make it kind of hard to get off the bobbin when you go to measure your yarn with a nitty knotty. And if you don't understand these terms, do not worry, okay? Like I mentioned before, I've been doing this for 4 years, so I had a lot of learning that I had to do myself, and a lot of what does that mean? Or I don't understand what this person's saying. I need to go Google that or YouTube that. I am a part of a lot of spinning and weaving groups, and that has helped a lot because some people will be working on different techniques than I am, and so that will help me in the technique that I'm working on, or maybe I learned something from them and something I want to experiment with or what have you. So it's been really fun to have that community involvement as far as groups on Facebook and other artists, especially like Instagram. I follow a lot of different weavers and spinners and dyers, and that's just been kind of cool to watch other people grow in their art as well as myself. And then not to copycat anyone, but just to kind of learn from their experiences, or maybe their oopsies, or maybe they tried a product that didn't work for them, and so maybe I try a different product because of that. So yeah, I'm going to give this a second. I'm going to go ahead and finish plying, and then I will show you the next step, which will be taking it off this jumbo bobbin as a 2-ply and putting it on a nitty knotty where I will set the twist. Setting the twist is super important. You want to make sure that you don't have a yarn that's going to untwist or get really hard to work with, because it has so much action in it, so much energy in it, that it still wants to twist back the opposite direction that it was. So this will relax the yarn and allow it to be more workable, and it's very important to do so, otherwise your customers are going to be really struggling with working with the yarn. So this is my nitty knotty, and so what I'm doing is I'm actually just pulling it straight from the spinning wheel. I move the hooks out of my way, I unhook the brake band and hold the little knot right here on the nitty knotty. There's a notch, and so I put the knot in the notch, and then I loop it over and around. It's kind of hard to see when I do it so fast, but basically over, under, and keep doing that. This nitty knotty measures 2 yards per round, each side. So this is 17 inches, this is 17 inches, this is 17 inches. So that is this one, when I'm done, I just count the strands from one section and then multiply it by 2. That's how many yards I have. And then if I want feet, I just divide that by 12 inches to figure out my feet, or sorry, by 3 feet to figure out how many feet I have. So I've just found that it's super easy just to unwind it this way. You just have to be careful that your yarn doesn't get under your hooks, otherwise that'll potentially break up your ply or just cause a gnarly mess. And I just do it pretty quickly. And then when I get to the end, it was knotted, so I kind of have to either scissor it, so cut it, or I either have to pull it, which this one is too strong. I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'll just go ahead and cut it. I'll tie a knot in this end as well, and then I just tuck the strands in here, and then I soak it, and then let it rest overnight, and then it's ready to go to its new home, or I'm ready to work with it.